Welcome back to another episode of Health is Wealth. And thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode. And as always, I am beyond grateful from the bottom of my heart to each and every one of you who is tuning in to this podcast and these episodes. And I truly hope you are finding value in these as I'm just going here sharing, some words of thoughts that I've got, learning things, for the first time, re-understanding things, on this journey that I'm on in life in hopes that maybe it'll inspire you, motivate you, something you could take away from it. Perhaps, not just learning something for the new time, but maybe seeing something, from a different viewpoint. And if anything, maybe just to get to know me a little bit more and understand this journey that I am on myself to become the greatest version of myself on this crazy ride that we all call life. So here we are on this week's episode. What I wanted to talk about is how bad do you want it, right? When it comes to our goals, to the life, to the dreams that we have, a lot of times we say we want it, but how bad do we really want it? For myself here recently, I had an epiphany moment the other day on my way home from work, to be honest. And it really made me think about how bad do I want the outcome of this dream life that I want. I'm personally been putting together this 5-year plan to move away from the career and work that I do for a living right now to step into a position in life to where I feel I'm being called to, my purpose, and for me, I have to ask myself, how bad do I really wanted? And, again, having this moment of clarity the other day, it just made me realize how much more motivated I really am to push closer to that goal because of the significance of what it means to me, and how happy I would be in life to achieve that and pull away from this. But knowing so, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of sacrifice. It's going to take, time, to get there. It's just not going to happen overnight. So we have to ask ourselves, when we have these big goals, these big dreams, these things that we want to achieve, how bad do we truly want them? A lot of times we say we do want them, but our actions don't necessarily line up with, the thought process that we have of how bad we want something, And so at that point, you got to ask yourself, do you really want it that bad if you're not willing to sacrifice a lot of things in order to achieve it? I've come to understand, that there's this point in life to where it's like, you may say you want certain things, but, if you continue living a life and not achieving those things, and not getting the outcomes, then really how bad do we want it? And I think there's this pivotal point to when most people change that direction, that trajectory of their life, to when there's this moment in realization that takes place, that when the pain and suffering of the circumstance of not having that goal, of not, achieving that thing outweighs the pain, the everything that comes along with the actual change and the journey. When that pain begins to outweigh the pain of what it's going to take to get there, I really think that's when things in life actually happen. That's when we actually begin to kind of grab life, and make the choices and make the changes at all costs, whatever it takes necessary to get there. And that for me shows you really want that thing bad enough. If it means giving up this, if it means selling that, if it means saying no to this, if it means going quiet for a couple of years, 6 months, a year, whatever it takes kind of mentality, So ask yourself seriously, how bad do you want the things that you want, in life, whether it's that better body, whether it's to be more financially stable, whether it's that dream career, job, position, whatever it is, and what are you willing to do in order to achieve it? Most times what it's going to come with is saying no to a lot of things now in order to say yes to that dream, that goal, that outcome, that life, whatever it may be. And it's essentially, delaying that gratification and doing whatever necessary steps that it's going to take in order for us to get there. And that is truly when you know you want it bad enough, when you're willing to do absolutely whatever it is that it's going to take to get there. For me, I really want this outcome of this 5-year plan. Part of that 5-year plan for me is, 5 years from now, being in a role and position in my life to where I'm helping people with their fitness, to where I'm coaching people. I am on my own journey right now to lose weight, to build muscle. I'm on my journey right now to build better financial habits and really transform my life in a lot of different areas. And right now, again, I am working in a career in a construction field as a low voltage technician, that I'm not necessarily in love with, It's not a job I hate, I enjoy the work that I do to a point. I enjoy the people that I work with. But more so than that, I know there's a bigger plan. There is a bigger purpose. There's another destination in mind for me that I believe I'm being called to do. That's on my heart that I can't stop thinking about. So for me, my thing is 5 years from now, I want to step into that role. I want to walk away from this and being in alignment to exactly the person I know I'm supposed to be. And so that's a part of that thing that I want so bad. And I know it's going to take me giving up a lot of things right now, but it's not really sacrificing for the sake of sacrificing. It's an investment, right? It's saying no to things now to say yes to the big thing, the thing that's more meaningful, right? The dream, the goal, the outcome, that want, And so for me, as far as how bad I want it, I'm willing to go ghost. I'm willing to say no to everything right now. I'm willing to do whatever it takes because I just had this epiphany moment coming home from work the other day where I'm like, I'm not living congruent to who I'm supposed to be. I'm not living in alignment of what I'm supposed to be doing. And so knowing that, I know it's going to take serious action and dedication and commitment and discipline and habits and all these different things. And I know that journey is going to be long. But again, for me, it's how bad do I really want it? If I say I want the thing as bad as I know I want to, then the things I got to give up and say no to now should be easy. So we've got to really be honest with ourselves still, right? How bad do we want it? Because if we continue to go and live days and we're not changing anything, then do you really want the thing that you say that you want, right? If you haven't taken it serious enough to see the outcome, to get closer to it, if your actions don't align, with those goals in that dream, then, it's really just a wish, And so again, it's really just taking a deeper dive into what do we really want in life and asking ourselves, how bad do we want it? And just know that if you want it bad enough, then your actions, your mindset, the habits, the discipline, the commitment, it's going to align with it. It's going to show. It's going to get you closer to the goal. And, and when it means that much to you, then you just got to do what you've got to do until you can get there. So again, ask yourself, how bad do you really want the things that we say we want? Thank you so much for tuning to another episode again, and I will see you on the next one.